Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first official long form YouTube video on my channel, and I just wanted to take some time to introduce myself and allow you to get to know me a little bit. My name is Sabine. I am originally from Haiti. I was born in Haiti, and I came here when I was one to the US when I was one, and I've been living here all of my life. So, yeah, so I'm really excited to film this video and also a little bit nervous. So please bear with me. I have my notes here on my in my journal about just some of the things that I want to talk about. But I grew up in New York City, okay? And I've been living here my entire life. I was always interested in fashion from when I was a little girl. I would like Me and my sister, we would draw pictures of like fashion models or like beauty pageant contestants. I'm sure that was my idea. And so I was always drawing, little designs. And I remember my first design, or the first drawing that really got the attention of my parents, was of a sneaker. When I was in my art class, I think I was 10 years old. But I drew my sneaker. I took my sneaker off. They told us we could draw anything. And I was just like, let me draw my sneaker. So I took my sneaker off, put it on the table, and I drew my sneaker. And I wish I still had that drawing today. But apparently it was so good that it caught the attention of my mom. And, at some point, I also created some sort of drawing of kids doing community service, and it got featured somewhere. Like, I think it was on display at a bank or something like that. And I was a kid also. I think I was 9 at that point. And my mom, and I went to the premiere of the viewing of my picture. But the point is, as a kid, I really enjoyed drawing and creative things. Like, I was always like acting on stage as a little kid, like first grade, second grade. I was playing Sleeping Beauty and Diana Ross. Okay. So, and that was 7 years old. Okay. But so I was always interested in more creative um, field or creative pursuits. Like, I was just always like a creative kid. However, I was also the first child to ever go to college in my family, and I came from a very strict Haitian family, and so there was no, creative pursuits, that I could, you know, that I could study, whatever. But it was more so I pretty much had to go to a college that my parents felt like was a reputable university, and that was that. So I ended up going to attending Fordham University and obtained my English degree. I also, to be fair, loved reading, loved writing, and I was also really good at math. So it wasn't like I was only good at the creative things. I also was good at other things, and I was a kid and I was just trying to figure out my life. But right before college, I got a sketch pad and I started drawing designs. The drawings were not that great, but I still have the sketchbook, and I started drawing designs the summer before college. But I didn't end up, going to an art and design school. I ended up going to Fordham University, and I studied English, and that's what I ended up doing. But the desire to study fashion design was just always in my heart. I just always knew that that is what I wanted to do, always. And even though we were, as a kid, it's not like we had a lot of money, so I wasn't really able to go and buy like a ton of clothing. It was just something I knew in my heart that I wanted to create. I wanted to design fashion. So fast forward a few years, I graduated from college, from my undergrad at Fordham, and what do? You go and get a job. So I ended up, working in higher education for pretty much the entire time. I'm still working in higher education now, and in administrative positions. And I'll talk about my experience probably in a later video. But what I will say is, when you are a creative and you're working in a role that doesn't allow you to really be yourself, it can be a bit miserable for you, and that is what it was. Pretty miserable a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, I did find joy in a lot of the work that I did, especially working with college students. I feel like that was probably the highlight for me, is working with them and also planning events. Because I feel like I was able to be more creative with the students and planning events with them, and how we're running the office and different things like that. But, you know, obviously there were a lot of other things that happened and that were not pleasant. Um, and it was hard because I knew that this is not what I'm passionate about in the first place. So why am I even here? Kind of like I'm not even supposed to be here. And all these things are happening. So, anywho, the point is, I have spent a lot of time working a 9 to 5 job. Um, and now, well, let me go backwards. Basically, while I was working, and I think this is probably my second 9 to 5 job after graduating from college, I decided to take advantage of the tuition benefits at the university where I was working. And I started taking classes at FIT because, again, like I said, the desire to be a designer, a fashion designer, just was still burning in my heart. So I started taking classes because in reality, I hadn't really taken a lot of drawing classes. The high school that I went to, was a Catholic high school. I didn't really pursue art and design even in high school. It was just more, I continued sort of drawing on the side. So so I'm losing my train of thought. But basically, I ended up taking classes at FIT, which is Fashion Institute of Technology, for those of you who are not from New York. But so I ended up taking drawing and sewing classes because I had no idea how to sew, and my drawing skills were like subpar, really. Um, so I ended up taking classes there, and I really procrastinated, okay, for a long time. I took classes for years, but I never applied because I was so afraid that I wasn't going to get in. So finally, years later, I finally made the decision to apply to a fashion design program at both FIT and Parsons School of Design. And I remember getting the first notice back, and I knew I didn't get in because it was just like a letter, and that was that. Back then, I mean, I don't know. I think now they probably let people know digitally, but you would, back then you would receive a letter in the mail, and I knew the first school that I applied to, FIT, that I wasn't getting in. And because I didn't get in. And so when I opened the letter, it did say, whatever they say. Unfortunately, we cannot accept you into our school. But I basically ended up, you know, feeling at that moment like, ugh, like my worst kind of fear came to fruition because I had been taking classes at FIT for years. So if they didn't accept me, Parsons definitely wasn't going to accept me, kind of thing. So I was super disappointed in that moment. But I knew, I had to await the other response and to get a final answer. But at that moment, when I received that rejection letter from FIT, I thought to myself, wow, I can't believe like I spent all this time hoping and dreaming for this thing, and it's not happening. So anyways, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but so I obviously cried at the time, and I'm crying now because I'm remembering the emotion. So, um, you know, then I received the response from Parsons, and it was a big packet. Yeah. So, and basically, I got in. I got into Parsons, and I couldn't believe it. I was not expecting to get emotional during this video. My goodness. Um, this has been a really, really long emotional journey for me. Obviously. By the way, I'm probably the most sensitive person on earth. So, I'm a sensitive black girl, okay? Um anywho, so I got into Parsons. And here's the thing. I was still working full time. Now in my third job. No, was it the third job? Jesus. Yes. So now I'm at my third job in higher ed. So this years and years are passing. Okay. So now I'm at my third job in higher ed. And again, I use the tuition benefits to go to school now. So I'm working full time, and I'm going to school, taking classes part time. 2 or 3 classes per semester is what I was doing in the beginning. And then I decided, I wanted to, take on a different position after being at the same institution for so long. And so I looked for another position. And I looked for another position. And again, at a university, I was able to use the tuition benefits. So I found another job. So now this is my fourth role, I think, in higher ed. And I'm working 9 to 5. And yeah, I'm working 9 to 5, and I'm going to school part time. So this position ended up being just where I ended up working a lot of overtime, basically. And I really, throughout my experience in higher ed, I had a lot of difficulty with setting boundaries. And that really came up in this role. I was working full time, working overtime, life plus school. And it ended up being just a very challenging several years, while I was while I was trying to obtain my degree in fashion design. So a lot of things happened. I think because I didn't set boundaries properly, and there was some toxicity in that position, I ended up my health ended up taking a downward spiral. I had never had any health issues before, and started getting sick, you know, and a lot of things ended up happening, which I do want to talk about on this channel. But anyways, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds because I feel like that's a whole testimony in and of itself. Let's stay focused. But basically, it was just very challenging for me to complete that degree because I was working full time, overtime, life plus school. There were many times during that period of time where I had to take a leave of absence from school because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. And so, it wasn't as enjoyable an experience for me, as I thought it would be. I was so excited at first, but it wasn't enjoyable. I didn't have the time to really completely focus on my studies. So, but a year before the pandemic, I ended up finally completing my degree at Parsons School of Design. So now I have an associate degree in fashion design from Parsons School of Design. So I was very proud of myself for completing the degree. But at the end of that, I was just completely just exhausted, and so then fast forward a year, I figured I would take some time after graduating from the program to just rest and just remain in my job and then look for a position in the fashion industry. Fast forward a year, or less than a year actually, because I had graduated during the summer of August of 2019 officially. And so, about 9 months later or so, we entered the pandemic. And I was so exhausted anyway, and got, just getting acclimated to working completely remote. But the point is, it is now 2025, and I ended up leaving that position that I was working in, where I completed my degree at Parsons. I ended up leaving that position and going to another role in higher education because it was easier. I have a lot of experience working in higher ed, and it was just easier to get those jobs and harder to get a fashion job because I really didn't have any experience. And I had a lot of work to do on my portfolio, and there was a lot of procrastination, a lot of, putting it off. And also, obviously, we're in a pandemic. It was extremely stressful. But yeah, and more health stuff that actually continued through the pandemic. So 2025, well, no, actually, let's go back to 2024. In 2024, literally last month, I finally decided to start posting videos on YouTube. But I started with short form videos because, that's whatever I posted on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I pretty much decided, well, might as well post it on YouTube. That'll be easy. And let's see how many views I can get. Let's see if I can build up my subscriber count with, with short form videos. So that's what I've been doing. But basically, I started posting on YouTube in December of 2024. And so far, I've posted 11 videos, 11 short form videos. I have around 500 views for 4 of the videos, and the rest of the videos are mostly under 100 views. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not really sure what I'm doing right or wrong when it comes to the short form video content. But basically, I I do think that when I post at nighttime between 7 and 9, I think that is the sweet spot, I think, for my short form videos. I don't know why necessarily, but I feel like whenever I post in the morning, it just doesn't work. But yeah, so here I am on YouTube, and I basically want to use this channel to express myself creatively. I want to build a community of like-minded individuals or people who are interested in seeing my journey. I'm still working 9 to 5 in higher ed, and I am using YouTube and other social media platforms to create, basically. And so, pretty much what I've been doing is like, just styling looks from other brands, not necessarily anything that I've created, but I've been styling looks from other brands, and that's pretty much the content that I've been posting because I figure that it's easier that way, because I just felt like if I don't do this, I'm going to keep procrastinating and I'm never going to do it if I don't just put on an outfit and just like if I don't do it, it's not gonna happen. So that's pretty much how I wanted to just start out. But on this channel, I would like to um, style looks using clothing that I already have in my closet and some new clothing. So I plan to do some fashion hauls, some clothing hauls. What I also want to do is go into my closet because I have a lot of clothes, guys. And I'm sure a lot of us have a lot of stuff already. It's definitely over consumption. I don't even want to show you what's sitting next to me. It's my laundry that I still need to fold. It's a lot of stuff, okay? I have my closets are full. I have clothing on my bed that I need to fold. I have dressers full of clothing. I have lots of stuff. And I'm sure you guys do too. So, one of the ideas that I have is to actually go into my closet and see, like, well, what do I have in there? Like, what if there I have things that I have never worn before sitting in my closet. So I want to wear the things that I already have from years ago, but I also want to see how I can revamp them. So that's the way that I would be using my one of the ways that I would use this fashion design degree is I want to go into my closet, pick out things that maybe I don't plan to wear again or that I've never worn, either wear them or cut them up and create something completely new. Pretty much do like a closet revamping to add new pieces into my wardrobe. The other idea that I have is to actually sew clothing on this channel, design new pieces to add to my wardrobe, and actually sew, create sewing content for the channel as well. I also need to work on my fashion portfolio, and I want to share that too. Um, I may work on it behind the scenes at first before I really like release it, but either way, I want to sew on the channel. And I gotta admit to you that I haven't actually sewn anything since 2019. It is it has been 6 years since I've actually used the sewing machine. So I need to relearn how to sew. I need to, there's a lot of work that I need to do to get myself on the road to where I actually want to be. I want to be a designer. I am I am a designer, but I'm a designer who has no designs. Okay? I need to actually start designing again. So let me see what else I wanted to talk about here. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, I guess the last thing I'll talk about is YouTube. What I want to talk about on this channel is, you know what? No, not the last thing. Okay, let me say this first. Um because my journey was just full of so many obstacles, including health challenges, I really became over that period of time going to school and working full time. I really became very interested in wellness. I am on a wellness journey. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Again, with the fashion journey, I'm not where I want to be yet. With the wellness journey, I'm not where I want to be yet. But I want to use this channel as a place where we can form a community because I'm sure there's so many of you that are probably on a journey too. Maybe there is a passion that you want to pursue and you haven't pursued it yet. Um it's getting a little dark. I don't know if that will help, but some of you might want to pursue a passion on the side, some of you might have some challenges with your health and you want to get back up again. Um, Also, my faith is very important to me. I want to talk about that as well. So I want this to be like a little hub for us. I can't be the only person who is just like wanting to make a change in their life in 2025, whether it's a change in your career or a change in your life, your health and wellness. Maybe you're on a faith journey. I don't know. But I essentially want to talk about fashion and lifestyle on this channel. And the last thing that I also want to talk about is YouTube growth because I have currently 3 subscribers. It's funny, but I have 3 subscribers, and I'm a very small, I'm a very, very, very small channel. I mean, I'm just getting started. I would love to talk about that journey with you guys as well, because I'm sure there are also many of you who are wanting to start a YouTube channel as well and would like to see, okay, like what's working, what's not working. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to figure out, what I'm going to be figuring out. So currently I have 3 subscribers. My first goal for YouTube would be to hit the 1,000 subscriber mark and 4,000 watch hours, because that is what is needed in order to get monetized. So again, you're going to need 1,000 subscribers and also 4,000 watch hours within a year in order for YouTube to start putting ads in your videos and for you to start getting paid from those ads. And so that's going to be my first goal. I'm going to be trying to post more consistently. If I could post every day, I will. I'm going to try, but I'm going to try to post as consistently as I can. And I want to see how quickly my channel can grow with consistent effort. And that's something that I'll also talk about on my channel to help you guys out too. Like, okay, when I go from 3 subscribers to 500 subscribers, okay, what did I do to get there? I want to talk about that. And I want to just provide as much help as I can when it comes to fashion, when it comes to wellness and just life, faith, and also YouTube growth. So I'm gonna end the video here, but I guess I want to hear from you guys. Hopefully you will like and subscribe to my channel. But I want to hear from you guys. What are you interested in seeing on my channel? What would you like to hear me talk about? There's a lot that I haven't talked about. So when I post those videos, then you'll be able to ask more questions, of course. But what's your story? What are you pursuing? What is it that you want to pursue? Are you starting a YouTube channel as well? Let us know in the comments. Do you have a 9 to 5? Are you doing something are you pursuing your passion on the side? Are you starting a YouTube? What are you doing? Like, tell me a bit more about yourself when you subscribe to my channel. You don't have to comment, of course, but if you like, definitely please share with me any thoughts you have, any questions, any ideas. Tell me a bit about yourself and your background, and because this life is not a straight path. It's a winding road to get where you want to go. And I'm starting this journey. I hope you guys will join me on this journey, and I'm really excited. And there's a scripture that I wanted to share just to encourage me and to encourage us. In Ephesians chapter 3, verses 20 and 21, it says, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, to him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. Amen." So I'll see you guys in the next video.